Season Pass, sponsored by City National Bank, starts now.
And just like that, it's already been another 7 days. Welcome into Season Pass. I'm your host, Brian Cunningham. Happy Easter from everyone here at KLST. Week 29 officially underway right now. High school baseball has 1 week left in the season. Softball has the playoffs this upcoming week. ANgelo State Athletics has baseball and softball seasons both winding down. And we have some other sporting news both locally and nationally, including 3 student athletes signing to the next level. But first, let's start in our very own backyard. As always, Lakeview Baseball starts things off tonight. The Chiefs are at home Tuesday for Military and First Responders Night, taking on Lubbock Liberty and the Patriots this past Tuesday night. A tough opening inning for the Chiefs. 9 runs allowed to open the game. A 2 RBI double on this play here after the wild throw at home allows another runner in. A few batters later, and another 2 RBI double here to left field. The runners getting caught in a pickle, fortunately, to end that inning. Chiefs would then stop the bleeding, but a little too late on this one following that 3 up, 3 down home half of the first, and Lubbock takes this one on Tuesday night. Final score 20-5 as the Chiefs' schedule continues to wind down. And TLCA up now. A tough loss this past week to Clyde. The Eagles losing this one 15-0, called to the run rule, sitting now at 2-20 on the season. TLCA with 1 more game left in the regular season. Coming up this week against Clyde again for another matchup, their final one of the year. And Grape Creek up now, facing Sweetwater at home this past week, Tuesday, seeing a 7-3 loss at home for the Eagles. The Eagles now 4-14 on the year as their season has officially ended. And Wall Baseball now 18-4 win over Jim Ned, 13-0 in district play. Jim Ned on Tuesday for the home district finale, aiming for a perfect district record. The Hawks facing Jim Ned at home. And over to Brady now, a loss to Lano, 11-1 to sit 4-17-2 on the season, 1-7 in district play. They have 2 games this week at Florence and home versus Florence for the Bulldogs as district play continues to wind down with next week's games. Bulldogs facing Florence to close out their schedule. And Ozona up now versus Wink, 9-2 with a 19-3 record versus Forsan, 4-22 on Tuesday is the next game for their season finale. Ozona looking for a perfect district record to close out their season. And a Concho Valley matchup from last Tuesday. The Broncos dropping this one to the Cougars, 12-1. Cristobal now 12-7. Sonora 1-10. Both teams win their district finale next week to close out the regular season. Cristobal taking on both Miles and El Dorado next week, while Sonora also takes on El Dorado. And Mason up now. They beat Harper 16-8, 1-1 on the week to close out last week, 13-4-1 overall this season. Mason is going to be facing Junction for a pair of games this week. Tuesday night for senior night for the Punchers, with their second contest taking place Friday to close out their regular season. And we're over to Junction now. Junction, they had a loss last week to Goldthwaite on Tuesday, 14-10, 9-7 overall this season. And we're going to recap with Mason splitting a series finale with Junction to close out their regular season. Friday night being senior night. The Eagles need to win both these games versus Mason to secure a playoff spot. And coming up next on Season Pass, we switch from high school baseball to softball in the Concho Valley. Don't go anywhere. Season Pass will be right back. And from baseball to softball now, the Central Lady Cats are up facing longtime district rival Mojo. It was senior night for Central Lady Cats, hosting Odessa Permian on Tuesday night, needing a regular season finale win to make the playoffs. Top of the second, Permian up 1-0 and make that 3-0. 2 more runs score on the double here. Runner goes to third on the throw. Big inning for Mojo as the fans start to rejoice. Bottom second now, Aubrey Garcia strikes out as the Lady Cats go down swinging in this inning. Top third, Lady Cats get the leadoff hitter out on a 6-3 ground out, 1 out away. In the same inning, another ground out, 2 outs this time for the Lady Cats in this inning. And still top third, Permian continues the damage. An opposite field double to left, ending Central's playoff hopes as Permian wins this game 7-1. And Lakeview up now. The Maidens with a big game this past week in their district, taking on Big Spring in what would be a tough loss. 15-1 was the final score. The Maidens now 4-6 in district play with the playoffs now approaching. We also will hear from head coach Landon Alls later on in the show. And TLCA this past week had a very tough Coahoma team that they faced, almost dominant in every single sport. And the Lady Eagles indeed had their hands full. A 17-2 loss on Wednesdays. The ladies are now 1-6 in district play, just missing the playoffs this season. And Grape Creek up now. The Lady Eagles with a tough Sweetwater opponent to face this past week. An 18-0 loss would prove just that. Called to run rule, the Lady Eagles finishing now 0-8 in their district play. Wall Lady Hawks up now. They were over in Jim Ned for a pivotal game. A win, and they would take the district. Unfortunately, the ladies lost on a sacrifice fly with the Indians to win the game in walk-off fashion. Monday's road contest versus Jim Ned is now for the district title. The Hawks looking to win it for the first time since 2017. And Brady softball up now. The ladies with a pair of games this past week, both unfortunately resulting in losses to Lano. 0-2 on the week. The Yellow Jackets taking Thursday's latest game 17-3. The Lady Dogs now 4-15 this season. And Ozona up now. The ladies taking on McCamey and the Lady Badgers. A big win for Ozona in this contest, 17-2. And the monstrous win. The Lions now 3-6 in district play. And a Concho Valley matchup is next. The Broncos taking on the Eagles. A 20-point win for Sonora in this one. The Lady Broncos now 22-9 on the season. The Lady Eagles 9-10 on the year. Playoff softball coming soon to the Concho Valley for one of these teams. And Mason up now taking on the Longhorns and dropping this game to Harper. A low-scoring affair in this one. 2-0. The Cowgirls now 4-17 after Monday's tough loss. And the Bulldogs, they highlight the next game. Miles hosted a non-district game against the JV Lady Hawks. In this close affair, 14-13 was the final score. The Lady Dogs are 4-16-1 on their season. And Junction closes out our softball coverage. The ladies were on the road in Goldthwaite this past week, just like the fellas were, for an all-Eagles contest and dropping this game. Unfortunately, the ladies now 3-2 in their district with one more game on Monday versus Harper. Coming up next on Season Pass, more local sports, including 3 Central soccer players moving on to the next level after signing letters of intent. Don't go anywhere. Season Pass will be right back. The Central Lady Cat soccer program this past week saw 3 of their own take that next step to the next level. Here's that story. The Central Lady Cats soccer team just saw 3 of their own this past week sign letters of intent to move on to the next level to continue their careers. Isabella Osorio, Mackenzie Templin, and Ashley Herbert all gathered in front of friends and family as they put a ribbon on this past chapter in their life.
I think it was definitely a unique one, because like the new coaches and all that, but it was pretty fun actually. I feel like I got to grow more as a player and meet new people, especially like all the freshmen coming up. We did a lot more freshmen did last year, so it was good.
It means the world to me, honestly, because I never thought that I would be able to make it this far in soccer, especially with all of the challenges that came along with it. But the fact that I was able to get this far and hopefully get even farther later on in the future, it means like the absolute world to me, especially since I got this opportunity to just at least try.
It just honestly means that you can do anything you put your mind to. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but it's true. Like, what you put in is what you get out. All the hard work, all early morning runs, 2 miles down the river, like it actually paid off. And I'm just glad my coaches and everyone around me supported me and pushed me to do my best.
Each of these ladies are now headed in a new direction. Isabella is off to Arkansas Rich Mountain to join the Bucks soccer team, and Mackenzie Templin, well, now she is reunited again with her sister, now at Hardin-Simmons University, also to continue soccer. And for Ashley Herbert, well, she's headed to Kansas to be closer to family and also join the Jayhawks rowing team. Each of these ladies excited for a different reason when thinking of the next level.
I just like new stuff. Like literally everything's gonna be new. Like new state, new sport, basically new people. Excited, new weather. So.
I'm excited about the chemistry that me and my new players are going to have together, since they come from different states or countries, and just to see how we can build and how well we're going to work together as a team.
I'm excited for the culture. I'm excited to make new friends, new teammates. I can't wait to play at the next level. I'm excited for the challenges and learning how to actually play with collegiate players.
These Lady Cats are ready for that next step after leaving their legacy in Central this past season. Good luck to our Lady Cats following your opportunities, family, and your dreams.
It's been a breakthrough season for the Lakeview softball team as the Maidens have qualified for the playoffs for the first time in 10 years. The Maidens finished 4th in District 5-4A after a 14-1 loss on the road against Big Spring in the regular season finale. But that didn't matter because Lakeview is now 13-13-1 overall, and the Maidens finished 4-6 in District. And the Maidens have won their last 2 home games to position themselves for a playoff spot. And here's what Coach Landon Alls had to say about that.
It's my 3rd year being part of the program, and I could definitely see that, you know, a change from the previous 2 years is just them realizing that they can play softball and that they are a pretty good softball team. And if they if they just take some of the coaching that Coach Brewer and I, are giving them, they could be even better. So I think that's the main thing, is just the belief in themselves.
We now focus on high school tennis. The Mason Punchers and Cowgirls have the strongest tradition in the state, and the 2025 team is doing a great job of upholding that reputation. Mason has won over 114 state titles over the years. The Punchers and Cowgirls will host the District 29 2A tournament on Monday and Tuesday. Head coach Kate Smith and juniors Kelton Jordan and Keegan Ratliff gave us their thoughts on the 2025 campaign.
I think we saw how good they could be in the team tennis part. We had our team tennis kind of there at the end of February, early March, and did really well in the team tennis, 3A team tennis, and got to see a lot of these kiddos that are now juniors and seniors that are starting to reap the benefits of going through the program for a couple of years. Last year we had a bunch of freshmen and sophomores, and now I feel like they're juniors and seniors. So, sky's the limit on a lot of them, and we're looking forward to seeing exactly what they can accomplish this spring.
This is a great year. As a team, we have a lot of depth, which allows us to get better and better every day, and that's really a big thing. And I think hopefully as a team we can have a lot of success going towards the end of the season.
We're probably stronger in doubles, but it's pretty close. I think we can all compete in singles just as well as we can in doubles.
And coming up next on Season Pass, ANgelo State Athletics is up with lots to cover from this past week. Don't go anywhere. Our very own Griff McClellan joins us again in studio for everything ASU. Season Pass returns shortly.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Season Pass. Starting on the baseball diamond, the #1 ANgelo State Rams began their final home series of the regular season this week, welcoming Eastern New Mexico to town. And it's safe to say ASU's performance 1 week prior at West Texas A&M epitomized the Rams' season overall. ASU had swept the Buffaloes, winning the first 2 games in thrilling fashion, each by 1 run, before back-to-back demolitions. In that series, Ethan Floodstrom earned himself Lone Star Conference Hitter of the Week honors, going a combined 10 for 17 with 4 homers, 3 doubles, and 10 RBIs. Head coach Kevin Brooks' squad looked to extend that momentum on its home field versus the Greyhounds as the regular season began to close.
We just want to get in the playoffs. Where you play, all that stuff does not matter. It's how you play that day. But I think it does help build, some attributes that are needed to be successful in the postseason. So we're excited about getting to take on a really good Eastern New Mexico team this weekend and sort of see if we can't continue to improve.
Thursday, Game 1, San Angelo resident Rebecca Buselli throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. She ran 7 marathons in 7 continents in just 1 week earlier this year. How cool is that? What a neat sight. Bottom of the first, ASU down 1-0 after a Greyhounds RBI single, but that's no problem as Weston Velasek gets the Rams on the board right here, reaching on a fielder's choice. 1-1 ball game. Same inning, bases loaded. Brett Samalstrila cranks one deep to left field, way back, and that is gone. Grand slam, Rams lead 5-1 in a flash. And after a Blake Wilhoit double, the Rams go yard again, this time a 2-run shot by Justin Harris. The left fielder can only sit and watch as the Rams lead 7-1 now. Very next pitch, guess who? LSC Hitter of the Week, Ethan Floodstrom hits another ASU dinger to make it 8-1. Rams hold on for the win, a high-scoring one, 18-9. The Rams take Game 1. Friday, Game 1 of a doubleheader. Didn't start well for ASU after trailing 9-0 early, but the Rams came all the way back to lead 13-9. Top of the 7th, Luke Olson, looking for his 3rd save of the season, gets the strikeout to retire the first batter, and then gets out number 2 on a putout to first. But Olson gets himself into a little bit of a jam here, allowing 2 base hits, including this one to right field, puts runners on with 2 outs. Another base hit to right would follow. The tying run now at the plate, runners on 2nd and 3rd. But Olson would not flinch. The crowd gets behind him on an 0-2 count. He's going to strike out the batter right here, and the crowd's going to erupt as ASU scores 11 runs in the 5th inning en route to the improbable 13-10 win. Game 2, let's see if ASU can keep it going after that electrifying performance in Game 1. Bottom of the 2nd, already 6-0 Rams thanks to 2 homers and 2 RBI extra base hits. Austin Beck now joins the party now with this shot to deep left center, make it 9-0 Rams. On the mound, Eliza Gutierrez was phenomenal all night. Pitched a complete game, allowing just 3 hits and 1 run. Gets the strikeout here, 1 of 7 he had on the night. Now bottom 3rd, Chase Penley up to bat, grounds into a fielder's choice at 2nd base. Guerrero out at 2nd. A run scores, though, and the throw to first gets away. Make that 10-0 ASU. Rams win big this time around, 15-1 the final, having reached double digits in now 5 straight games. Game 4 of the series finale, Senior Day. It was an uneventful, overcast day to start this game on Saturday before the lightning delay. The boys looking to bring out the brooms in their home finale. Lane Hutchinson earns the free base here, and RBI walk puts the Rams on the board first, 1-0. Same inning, Tatum Treadaway with a fly ball deep to left field. Jacob Guerrero tags, and the Rams are on the board again with that sac fly, 2-0. Another batter, another RBI walk. You can say the Rams are definitely getting their steps in today. A 3-0 game in the bottom of the first inning. But the Greyhounds do steal a run back on a solo homer by Adrian Martin to make it 3-1. The game was delayed 30 minutes for Lightning around 2:10 to 2:40 p.m. But the Rams win this one 6-4, getting the sweep. Now 39-7 with the regular season series finale next weekend at Cameron. Now to the other diamond, the number 7 Ram Bells began their final road trip of the regular season, this time out west in New Mexico for a pair of matchups earlier in the week. First up, a doubleheader against Eastern New Mexico starting Wednesday. The Bells enter the week 28-8 in the Lone Star Conference, having won 6 straight games. In order to close the final road trip of the season on a high note, ASU head coach Travis Scott knows you can't take any LSC teams lightly.
You know, they've got a good team. They've got a good pitching staff. The Guillen kid is really having a good season. Alondra Vasquez is a dangerous hitter, 5th-year kid. They've hit the ball out of the ballpark. I looked at the weather. It looks like the wind's going to be blowing straight out about 20. So it could be some high-scoring affairs there.
And talking about high-scoring affairs, indeed, Game 1, ASU scores 5 runs in the top of the 6th inning, including Ashton McMillan's 2-run inside-the-park home run. Carter Smith additionally had 2 RBIs, in addition to stealing home in the top of the 4th. Cheyenne Floyd also gets her 21st win, allowing only 3 hits and 3 runs in 6 innings pitched. And in Game 2, ASU gets the sweep, winning 12-9. ASU did trail a 4-0 early after a Greyhounds grand slam, but respond immediately with an 8-run 4th inning. Leilana Applin has 4 RBIs, including a bases-loaded hit by pitch in the 7th, which proved to be the eventual winning run. And to the next series, Friday at Western New Mexico, ASU wins 11-3 in Game 1. Cheyenne Floyd pitches another complete game, her 22nd win of the year, allowing 8 hits. On offense, ASU had, I guess you can say, a home run derby, hitting 6 of them in Game 1. Leilana Applin and Tatiana Trotter to go back-to-back in the first inning. Each of them had 2 on the day. In Game 2, more of the same. Applin, Trotter, and McMillan go back-to-back in the first inning to lead 3-0. 5 Ram Bells each hit a home run in Game 2 alone, totaling 11 on the day combined, en route to an 18-6 run rule victory in Game 2. To the courts, ASU tennis hit the road Saturday at St. Mary's, the first of 3 remaining road matches to close the regular season. Now, 1 week prior, the Ram Bells snapped a 6-match losing streak, last time out versus UT Permian Basin on Senior Day, sweeping doubles and singles in a match for the first time all season. ASU struggled to close singles matches throughout the losing streak and entered Saturday's matchup with a 2-5 conference record. But the dominant performance over UTPB had head coach Jason Pothoff and his team feeling rejuvenated heading into the final 2 weeks of the season.
All we can do is feel good about it and, have a good week of practice and on the road against St. Mary's and then all the way out to Western New Mexico and Sol Ross. So, we can get ourselves to 500 in conference, which was certainly not the goal. But if we win out, we can get ourselves to 500 in conference and, be in a good spot with some good momentum going into Lone Star Conference tournament. So yeah, we just gotta to take it for everything that it's worth, maybe take it for more than it's worth, and turn it into some good vibes going into this week.
In Saturday's match, the Ram Bells unfortunately lose a heartbreaker after winning the doubles point, claiming 2 of those 3 matches. Margaret Renee and Eva Schwartz win matches 1 and 2 respectively, but for the 7th time in the last 8 matches, ASU can't close the gap in singles, losing 4 of them to fall to 2 and 6 in the Lone Star Conference. And now to the links. ANgelo State Golf begins the 2025 Lone Star Conference Championships, which will last through Wednesday, April 23rd, held in Rockwall, Texas. Ram Bells competing include Lacey Stevens, Johanna Erling, Mia Clark, Caitlin Vanderkirk, and Kelsey Klein. Kara Knight will also compete as an alternate golfer.
There's a new TV network based in Dallas, and it's owned and operated by professional athletes. Here's that story.
I'm not crazy, but I'm a big dreamer.
Well, Deron Guidry might be a little crazy. You would have to be to bet on yourself like he did.
But we felt like, why can't the athletes have their own network similar to the Tennis Channel, Food Network, BET, MTV, etc., and let's call it Players TV.
That's the idea that led him to co-found KLST-TV, a one-of-a-kind lifestyle network by pro athletes for pro athletes.
They're real people. Yeah, they're doing fishing shows, they're doing cooking shows, and we're doing all those things we see on Food Network with our athletes at KLST-TV.
That's right. Some of the biggest names in pro sports.
Travis Kelce, Chris Paul, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard, Dwayne Wade.
Doing the things they love to do outside the game. And it's all based right here in Dallas.
I feel like Dallas is just like, you can dream big here.
Duran has partnered with Dallas Mavericks guard Kyrie Irving as the company's chief vision officer, and the company has big ideas of where they want to be.
The goal is trying to build a multi-$100-million business, and we're on that track to do so by 2026 or 2027.
That's a pretty big dream, but it might not be as crazy as you think. In Dallas, Bo Evans, CBS News, Texas.
I can't believe it's done already. That's going to wrap up this episode of Season Pass. Happy Easter again from all of us. Don't forget, you can check out all our content over on the ConchoValleyHomepage.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at KLST Sports. Make sure to use the hashtag Season Pass to stay in the conversation. We have a few big games coming up. The Wall Lady Hawks are in action for softball on Tuesday. That's a big contest. In action tomorrow on Monday. Only 4 more episodes to go after tonight. We will see everyone again next week. Good night, Concho Valley.
Thank you for watching Season Pass, sponsored by City National Bank. For more in-depth stories, scores, and highlights, head to ConchoValleyHomepage.com. For more on today's stories, visit ConchoValleyHomepage.com. Closed captioning for the hearing impaired is sponsored by the Law Office of Rick De Hoyos.